everyone and welcome to my June 2020 bullet journal plan with me. So let's get started. Okay, so this bit isn't recorded overhead because I was concentrating on actually drawing it because it was a little bit difficult for me with my limited artistic capabilities at the moment. So I've just thrown a few little clips in. You can see the bust that I've done in the peacock feathers there. Sorry that wasn't longer, but filming it overhead, my head was on the page, like you would have just seen Ginger. So sorry about that. And we're on the calendar page now. That's just fairly simple. I'm just working out where the boxes and everything are going to go. But I think I'll just talk about the first two pages, the quote page and the cover page, just because we have hardly seen them and won't see them again now until the end of the video. So for the month of June I decided to go with a theme based around Greek and Roman statues and the Roman goddess Juno, and then I wanted to incorporate attributes of Juno in that, which is why I've included the peacock feathers, because the peacock is kind of her sacred animal. And I really wanted to include roses as well, which you will see later in the video. And as you can see here, I have a little friend joining me, but I've drawn a kind of broken statue because I love the concept of like broken statues with nature kind of reclaiming them and flowers and vines coming out of them. I absolutely love that, so that's what I've drawn here. Sorry that I didn't do that on camera either. I was focusing and had my head over the page, but you will see on the next page me draw on camera, and it takes a while, so that's why, another reason why I haven't included it, because you'll just see Ginger and it will take forever. But as you can see here, I'm just outlining what I have already drawn, and then I'm going to go in and colour and shade and all of that business. The bust that you saw on the cover page, I do end up colouring that in as well. You don't see that in the video because I decided to do it afterwards, but I did do it before I filmed the flip through, so you'll get to see that at the end. I think it just made it look slightly better because it added shading, and rather than it just being some lines on the page and no differentiation between that and the page itself behind, you can see a subtle difference in colour, which makes it look more like a statue and all of that good stuff. As you can see here, I've finished outlining it, and I'm just going firstly with my pencil around some of the lines where there would be shadows, and then just generally shading the hair in and all of that. And then I'm going to go in and colour the flowers in. You can see some ginger poking in as well, just what you want. I'm just going to take my Faber-Castell colouring pencils and use them to colour in. So I'm colouring the flowers and the vines, and then just using this lovely colour here to colour in the statue. It just adds a bit more depth, I think. This I need to come back to finish, because as you can see it is very, very bare, but it was quite difficult for me to try and put onto paper what I envisioned in my head. As you can see here, I was experimenting with putting something down there, but I just rubbed it out and I thought I would come back to it. So moving on to the habits page, as you can see here, I have the drawing that I did originally for the cover page next to me to kind of use it as a reference, because I wanted to do like a tiny version of it. It doesn't really look like it in the end, I'll be honest. I'm not great at tiny busts, but I tried. And this one, I decided to have it broken, so part of the skull is missing, and then roses will be kind of flowing out of that in a wavy kind of formation, which you will see in a minute. As you can see, it took a lot of drawing and rubbing out and drawing and rubbing out, a lot of that, and a lot of ginger poking in, but we got there in the end. So as you can see, I'm just trying my best to do this, but art isn't my strong suit at the minute. I do really, really want to get better at it. It's just something that I'm going to have to keep working on, because with practice, obviously, I will get better. So here I am just outlining that drawing, kind of finalising it. The nose, I don't know what happened to the nose, to be honest with you. It it was better in one of my earlier ones, but I rubbed that one out, so that's what we're going with. The nose and eyes on that are not brilliant, but we're going with it. Okay, so as you can see here, I started to draw the roses in. Realised I wasn't recording, so started recording and carried on. Sorry that you can hardly see what I'm doing, that my arms are covering it. But yeah, basically all I did was a circle and then like lines inside of that to form triangles. It's a really easy way to draw roses, and then obviously some of them have the petals on the outside as well. That's just literally random lines. Like, do not overthink drawing roses at all. Not this style. If you're trying to be a proper artist, then absolutely go for it. But if you're just going to doodle it, it's fine. You'll see in a minute, once I finish drawing them, I just go in and add in a few more to kind of make it look more cohesive and make it flow better. And then I go in with some more Faber-Castells and colour them kind of randomly, because it produced a nice effect, I think, in that the randomness of it kind of added light and shade without me having to think about adding light and shade to it, which I did really like. And then obviously in nature roses aren't all exactly the same colour, so it kind of goes with that. And then I've just used this gold paint pen to write habits on top, and then I'm just going to go in and write in the habits things and draw all the circles for me to fill in. As you can see, I haven't yet coloured the bust in. You won't see that on this either, because I decided to colour that bust in at the same time as the bust on the cover, but I do end up colouring it in, and I think it makes it look a bit better, because with the shading it kind of detracts from the less than great face. But yeah, I do that, and you'll see that in the flip through at the end. Okay, and then onto the kind of the look after yourself self-care spread, which basically is what I track my mood and my sleep in. Here I'm drawing some more peacock feathers, and you can see basically how I drew them on the quote page at the start. I think once you kind of have a reference in your mind for this, they are fairly easy to draw, but I needed to kind of be able to see it in my mind. I couldn't just randomly chuck out a peacock feather. But I am very, very happy with how they turned out. So yeah, there we go. Maia can draw peacock feathers. And then this is just the same graph as normal, with the days of the month down one side and then the numbers at the bottom to indicate mood and hours of sleep. Exactly the same as I have been using in the past, and I find it really works for me. And I also think it's really interesting as well to kind of see the correlation at the end of the month between your mood throughout the month and the amount of sleep you've been getting throughout the month, because sometimes they can correlate really closely, and it just shows how important it is that you need to make sure you're getting enough sleep. And here we can see me starting to do my weekly spreads. I've only included one of them in this video because they're all exactly the same, and they are the exact same each month because they're quite boring. I would like to spice them up a bit, but I don't want to change the functionality of them or anything like that. So here you can see I've gone back to the quote page at the start because I did not know what to put there at the start, and then I found this nice quote about like summer and all of that sort of thing, because we're going into the summer months now, and it's about summer and nature, but also about taking time to rest, and about how rest isn't idleness and all of that sort of thing, which I think is really fitting considering we're still in lockdown. Okay, so here's the flip through. As you can see, I've got the cover page and the quote page. So kind of wanted to go with a theme of Greek, Roman statues and all of that sort of thing, because my mental process was kind of like, it's June, so I thought of Juno, the Roman goddess, and then I thought from just Rome in general, I thought about like the statues and about ancient Greece and that sort of time period, with like ancient Rome and ancient Greece kind of coexisting. So then I did a little bit of research into Juno herself. So this statue bust here is my interpretation of a bust of Juno that I found on Google, and I'm gonna put the inspiration pictures that I used in. I probably would have already done that at some point in the video, but if I haven't, I'm gonna put them in now. And then just researching into Juno, found that like her kind of sacred animal was a peacock, so I've used the peacock feathers just kind of to draw that together. And then I really wanted to experiment with the idea of kind of a broken statue with like flowers and nature going out of it, which is what I did here. The calendar page other than that is very bare and it isn't finished because I'm not yet where I want to be in terms of artistic ability. So at the minute I can picture something in my head, but I can't necessarily get it onto the page very quickly or very easily, so this took a lot of effort, sort of thing. And I'm really happy with how this turned out. So over the month I'm just gonna try and fill the rest of it, maybe with some vines or something like that ties in with the theme. I'm gonna carry on doing that, and then I'll show you that in my next video. I just couldn't fully express kind of the concept I was going for yet, but I'm getting there and I'm pushing myself artistically, and eventually I will be able to. So then we've got the habits and the kind of self-care tracker page. So on the habits we've got again another bust, but this time it's broken and there's like roses coming out of it, which I thought was quite nice. And then just again the 6 habits that I'm tracking, same as all the other months. And then my self-care thread, again I've used the peacock feathers just at the top as a little decoration. And then I've got 2 pages blank that I can use for, you know, trying to doodle some more of this sort of theme, or for scrapbooking or anything like that, just kind of like have some pages to be creative on in the month. And then onto my weekly spreads. These are the same as normal, there's not really anything exciting about these. I would like to start including doodles and stuff onto them now that I have more time, so that's something that I could maybe try to do. But yeah, at the minute they're just very practical and functional and they work for me. But yeah, that is the spread. So it definitely isn't finished on here, but I'm going to work on that, and then eventually I will be able to kind of express the concepts that I have in my head eventually. So I'm just going to keep working on that. But yes, I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, please give it a like or subscribe, and I will be back with more videos. So if you're only interested in bullet journaling, then I will be posting again once a month with my bullet journal spreads, but I'm also going to try and be more consistent with my uploads in terms of other things. So hopefully there should be a video once a week if I can do it without procrastinating, but I'm going to try to commit to that and get steady with this. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed it. Please, please, please stay safe and make sure you're looking after yourselves and others, and yeah, I'll see you on the next one. Bye.